morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Sunshine State Rails. July 18th, and wow, it's what, 11:30 in the morning? And I use Sunshine State Rails as a slogan or line or whatever, but sometimes I wish we didn't have that sun. Dude, I'm already sweating all over the place. I've been outside for maybe 5 minutes, and it's 11:30 in the morning. It's probably 92 degrees already. This is all I got for shade. But 452 is doubling out right now, so I guess we'll shoot him and just see what else we can find today. Although it felt like 2 long hours, it only took about 20 minutes for Q45217 to show himself from the north end of Winston Yard to begin assembling his, according to the crew, 14,000 feet of train. Even though he has about twice his train length in track to work with, putting together a 14,000 foot long train is no quick procedure. So in the meantime, we would move up to the Lakeland Amtrak station to catch PO91 on his way to Tampa. The Silver Star service has now been reduced to 3 days a week for COVID-19, but the trains have been made longer, and today he has the addition of a Federal Railroad Administration inspection car right behind the locomotives. It looks like the Silver Star's first stop at Lakeland today would be all but a drop-off. There was nobody waiting on the platform before the train arrived. When the train did arrive, I walked down about 200 feet to where the Federal Railroad car was now sitting. I got my pictures and videos while I could because the stop or drop-off was no more than 4 minutes before Amtrak 91 smoked his way south to Tampa again. By the time 91 had come and gone, 452 was now ready to go, and they had a big train to move today, so it was time to get them rolling. We set up at Knight Station Road, just north of the Cary Transit Industrial Spur off to the left. Though he had a big train to get moving, it was only about 15 minutes before he showed up from Lakeland. It's kind of ironic we catch this train with 2 GEVOs on the head because I made a comment in one of my recent videos about how CSX can pull these abnormally long trains with a small amount of power. But here's the thing, Q452, even though he does have more loads than the average northbound Floridian freight train, is mostly empties, with the exception of mostly limestone and scrap metal. Still, it was probably a little misleading to some of the drivers here, especially since this is a busy road, to see two engines pass and then have to wait an extra 7 minutes for this big train rumbling from Miami to go by. There wouldn't be a lot of action in Central Florida this day, so once 452 went by, there wouldn't be any other trains until we made it back to our old favorite spot, Plant City, and caught Amtrak 91 again, now heading eastbound, still headed to Miami. So here's what we got. Rain as we make our way over to Tampa. Got a K311 hopper train leaving Rockport. Wants to go down to Bartow. I don't know if we'll beat him to Adamo Drive or not, but even if we don't, he'll have to stop at the Yeoman bypass because there's some other phosphate train in the Bone Valley that the dispatcher has to get out of the way before they can give him permission onto the Valrico sub. So turns out we would beat him to Adamo Drive with gates coming down. I had about 40 seconds to spare before the train crossed the road. We just barely missed the rain as well. The train was just coming out of it on the other side of Palm River. This is an empty train of custom-built rotary flip-top hoppers returning to Mosaic's Ridgewood plant near Bartow. We're just past Adamo Drive at the old TS crossing. This is the ending of the Palmetto subdivision, or the beginning if you're heading southbound. Right here is the switch where trains can either turn to head into Yeoman Yard, or straight to head down the pass track, which K311 is doing. This is where K311 would sit for roughly another hour while he waited on K341, another Bone Valley local train, to clear up somewhere else in the Bone Valley so the dispatcher could give him permission down to Bartow. And as soon as the signal about a half-mile north of us turned green, the engineer knew what it was time to do. It was time to go, and the engineer threw that EMD wide open. Never mind pulling a 14,000 foot long train with two engines. A 3,000 foot long train with two engines takes almost no time to get up to speed. was just past 5 p.m. and we were considering making our way back home, but there was one more train to catch who was calling signals at Plant City. Amtrak 92, the northbound Silver Star from Miami to New York, was closing in on us. But I found something while setting up that was kind of interesting to me. What looks to be the Uceda yard lead has been completely cut off the main line and had two of its rails cut right here just past the road crossing. Obviously, whatever this line is or was, CSX doesn't intend on using anymore. Not sure if they plan on ripping up all of the track or not, but the switch to the main line has been completely removed, and so have these rails, so it obviously won't or can't be used. The main line is still intact though, as Amtrak 92 speeds past, getting ready to make his Tampa station stop. Now, it was our time to start heading back home. But I don't turn off the radio until we get past all CSX territory, and it was because of that that we picked up one more thing. Well, we're heading back south toward home, and we just heard 750 talking to the bridge tender, and they want to put the big manatee down. So, I guess we'll just pull into Riverwalk and maybe see if we can catch him. I don't know which way he's going. All I know is that he wants to go across the big manatee, so we're gonna see if we can watch that. All things seem to happen just a little bit quicker when you're not there. Just like the big manatee drawbridge coming down, because when we pulled into Riverwalk, I got to run across the parking lot and playground with my tripod fully extended to get out to the pier in time to see 750 heading back north across the infamous Big Manatee River. Special thanks to my grandmother for the second angle here. Those empty hoppers at the front are coming from Conrad Yelvington Distributors in Palmetto, the empty tank car is coming from Trieste AG Group in Gillette, and those 8 empty center beams are headed for National Gypsum in Big Bend, where they will be loaded with dry cement product and then shipped to, I believe, Orlando. Either way, 750 with his all-empty consist is headed back north, a move that I don't see too often, but it was a treat to see today. Thanks for joining me on this railfanning adventure that we took to Lakeland, Plant City, Tampa, and now even Bradenton. I've got quite a few things coming up here soon. This channel's always got stuff to put up, and I've always got trains to catch. So when that time comes, I'll see you out here next time on the Sunshine State Rails.